I hope everyone's enjoyed their time here and maybe had the luxury of taking some time during lunch break to walk around our campus. We're really fortunate to actually, this is where we come to work every day. Some of our sister agencies has to fight that downtown Nashville traffic and parking, and we get to come out to this beautiful campus. So if you take the time and take a walk around and enjoy it, it's a beautiful place. Sorry, just a little dig to the health department. Okay, I'm going to click it how I know. I'm just going to kind of give you an update of what we have going on at TDA, and I thank you for the opportunity to come and allow me to speak and kind of introduce myself. I've been with the department 10 months now, and it's been a great 10 months. I get to work with some amazing people that are really passionate, and I'm starting to kind of not be able to use that excuse of I'm new any longer. It's starting to wear a little thin, but maybe I got another month or two. So kind of give you an overview. Here at TDA, we have a few different departments: marketing, forestry, and then the division that I work in, consumer and industry services. This division recently had a name change. We used to be regulatory services. Our governor, Bill Haslam, has really wanted us to focus on a more customer-focused government, and I think the name regulatory services just wasn't friendly enough and didn't encompass everything that we did. So we are now consumer and industry services. We threw around a few names in one of the meetings, our staff meetings, and we were first going to be consumer and industry affairs. That's the name I was really pulling for, because then I could say I work for the CIA, which I thought would be really exciting, and business cards would really be awesome, but now we're the CIS. In this department we have, or in this division, we have weights and measures, animal health, plant health, fuel quality, pesticides, and food and dairy division, and that's the division I'll kind of focus on and where I work. Just to kind of give you a little organizational chart, all of these, you met Commissioner Johnson this morning. All of these positions are here on campus. Our deputy commissioner is Mr. Jay Templeton, and then our assistant commissioner for the Division of Consumer and Industry Services, Mr. Jimmy Hopper. And then I am the food and dairy administrator, and my partner in crime, Mr. Bill Thompson, who is our food manufacturing administrator. So Tennessee is a nice long state. We have 95 counties that we're responsible for, and TDA has divided those up into 4 different territories: Middle, West, Upper East, and Lower East, and each of those territories has a supervisor and then an inspection staff that reports into them. We kind of always complain that we don't have enough people, so Jimmy, don't look at this slide and how big our staff is. We're very fortunate to have this staff. Just to kind of break it down, in the office, we have Bill and I, the administrators, a MIFRPS coordinator and MIFRPS assistant, and I'll speak about those a little bit later. And we're in the process of hiring a new outreach coordinator. We're hoping they'll be on staff next week. We have a training and compliance officer, a retail specialist, which is a new position that we're tentatively calling that we are finishing up interviews next week for. And then we have a great secretarial staff that takes very good care of us. Our field staff, as I said before, we have 4 supervisors, 2 milk rating officers, and 23 inspectors. And I'm happy to say that we are actually fully staffed in the field, and I'm going to bask in that glory until next Friday when our Middle Tennessee supervisor retires. So I've got 1 more week. So with all of that staff, what do we actually do? We have a wide range of responsibilities in our division. Obviously retail food stores, delis and in-house service, dairy farms, all manufacturing, and warehouses. We're responsible for the seafood, custom slaughter, and domestic kitchens. So with this wide range, you never know what's going to be on the other end of the phone, what kind of questions you're going to get, and what opportunities you're going to have to work on. Also, that I neglected to get on this slide, but we also oversee our tobacco program for the access of tobacco to minors. So I'll start out with retail food stores. That's kind of falls into my wheelhouse. We have about 9,500 retail stores throughout Tennessee, and TDA is responsible for almost, well, a little over 6,000 of them. We also partner with our county health departments in 3 of our large counties, Davidson County, Knox County, and Shelby County. And so they are responsible for a little over 3,000 of those inspections. We approximately are in these stores at least twice a year. For the most part, we do have some, we're going to a more risk-based system where we may only be in there once, but obviously more frequently if needed. All the stores, we could be down to as small as a tobacco store and all the way up to the superstores, the Walmarts, Targets, Publix, and things of that nature. All of our retail scores and copies of our inspections are available online. You can go in and type in the name of the store and location and find out when the last audit inspection date was and what the score is, and actually kind of look at the violations that were noted. Dairy farms. We have 377 grade A dairies in Tennessee. This number has declined over the years, but we are in these farms probably every 3 to 4 months. We also have 4 goat dairy farms and 1 sheep dairy farm. Dairy is a highly regulated industry that keeps our inspectors and Bill Thompson extremely busy on a daily and weekly basis. We are fortunate. We have Unilever ice cream, which I've been told is the largest ice cream facility in the world here in Tennessee. We have 11 fluid milk facilities and 1 yogurt facility that's actually the largest in the U.S., and quite a lot of expansions in some of our cheese processing facilities. So we're typically in these facilities every 4 to 6 weeks, where inspections or at least happen quarterly, and we're also in there pulling samples, and probably if I ask the inspectors, they seem like they're probably in there more frequently due to equipment checks or breaking of seals and things of that nature. But we're really excited about the opportunities that these facilities are bringing to our state. Beverage bottlers, we have the wide gamut. Once again, soft drinks, beer, water, wineries, Jack Daniels, and we wouldn't be a good southern state without some moonshine, corn liquor, and White Lightning. So. Aside from what we've just discussed, we do have 511 warehouses and almost 1,300 food manufacturers that, once again, range in size from something small to a 1 million square foot facility. We also partner with FDA and conduct 185 of their inspections on their behalf, and we have approximately 149 domestic kitchens. And I'm not sure that's really correct. By the way the phone rings and the amount of calls that we get in, I think this number is drastically increasing on a daily basis. I was joking with Faith earlier. I don't even know, we partner and send a lot of our calls to Dr. Kreitzer at UT for her expertise as we try to guide these through the regulations and food safety needs. And we send her some doozies, and I'm surprised that she even answers our 615-837 numbers, to tell you the truth. So we owe her a very expensive dinner, and just see Bill Thompson, and he'll take care of that for you. We also are, I didn't have it on the slide, but we work with USDA in implementing their COOL program. And so with all that, how do we actually go about it? And we try to really approach it as a team effort, not only with our own staff in-house, but we want to have that team interaction with our partners and industry partners. We want to work with firms toward compliance. We want to educate before we regulate. It's much easier, in my opinion, to explain why this is needed or why these certain regulations are in place than just to say because we said so or because government said. I think you get a much better buy-in, and like kind of what Ben was touching on, maybe changing their manufacturers are high-risk facilities or facilities maybe that have had opportunities that we're looking to correct, or are feeding, or their process high risk, or maybe their population that they're catering to is a high-risk population. We're looking at trying to be in there at least 4 times a year, and it goes down from there as a medium risk twice a year, low risk, a dry warehouse, something of that nature, at least once a year. As I said before, typically we're in a retail facility at least twice a year. And as always, if problems are noted or there's concerns, we can go in as often as possible, as needed. We've actually been in the process of kind of revamping our food sampling program. We've started looking at some new things that we're going to be testing, and we just kind of rolled out. This gives you an idea of some of the chemical testing that we're doing on specific products. We're looking to look at these systems, both this program, both the chemical and the microbial side, at least once on an annual basis. We believe it's a dynamic program that's ever changing. We continue to kind of make a list of things that we want to take a look at, and it can come from, what sister states are having issues with, what FDA is finding. If we are testing something and we're really not having issues, we don't want to waste our resources continuing to test that and move on to something else. So we're really, as you can see, we're focusing a lot on allergens, both from imports and some of our domestic kitchens. One may look odd on there, but we do actually test antifreeze 4 times a year for denatonium benzoate, which is the bittering agent in that. So that's why that's on there. This just isn't a look at some of the microbial testing that we're pulling. We pull both from our food manufacturers and off the retail shelves for both chemistry or microbial testing. Obviously, we're hitting the high-risk products that have been in the news or talked about or been associated with outbreaks in the past. One of the big things, I don't know if people from other states are here, but for us, we have a lot more unpasteurized juice. It seems like, I don't know, a couple times a month at least, someone's calling that wants to do some cold-pressed juice to enhance the health of the community they live in. And so we're really focusing and doing some testing when we do permit those facilities, because they have the retail exemption that allows them to actually sell the product without it being pasteurized. We do have a civil penalty program here. It's implemented as an incentive to get people into compliance. Kind of how it works is our inspections currently is divided up into critical and non-critical items. If our inspectors go into a facility, they note a critical item, the next time we go in, it's noted again, a civil penalty gets assessed. It's also assessed on non-critical items. You just have a little bit longer to correct that issue. The penalty and the fee and everything is a formula that we use, and it's based on significance of the issue. Obviously, if we do find an imminent health hazard, we do have the ability to embargo, condemn, or seize the product. We usually use that a lot in the manufacturing side of it. We do have that capability on the retail side, but we also have the ability to issue a notice of closure, whether it be for a certain area of the facility, maybe like the deli, or for the entire facility if needed, until the issue is corrected. I wish we could say we didn't have any of these, but we do get the consumer complaints in. It's amazing sometimes what the complaint is on the other end of the line. For the most part, most are valid reasons, but some are seemingly maybe not as valid or appear to be that way. But all the complaints are investigated, whether they seemingly valid or not. And we do document all those. Complaints can come in from different ways: direct calls, emails from our website, or transfers from other agencies. So I'm a huge quote person, and it's not really in my office now, but before I used to have those successory posters everywhere: teamwork, quality, character. And so I really like this one: to improve is to change, to be perfect is to change often, by Winston Churchill. And it kind of leads me into the last part of this presentation in regards to some of the changes that we have going on here at TDA. So food code, we've heard the name thrown around a little bit. Tennessee did adopt the 2009 food code. It was before I got here, so I want to say it was in the beginning of 2013, possibly. Lori and her group did a lot of work with the task force in making this happen. And this is our new image, not a logo, but an image that we've looked at creating to actually put on our website that kind of gives you a visual to know exactly what you're looking for documentation and training and things like this. But the food code's a model that assists food control officials by providing, and I'm reading this, a scientifically sound, technical, and legal basis for regulating the retail food and food service industries. So I think it's going to make us a lot better. It's going to raise our standards, and we are in the midst of it. It actually goes into effect July 1st of 2015. That seemed like so far away when I first started, and I'm starting to get a cold sweat to realize that we're heading into June already. There's still a lot to be done. We've currently finished with collaboration with Lori and the health department on writing our regulations and rules. We've sent it out to a few of our stakeholders for some input, and we're pretty much on our second draft of that, and we're hoping to have and don't quote me on it yet, but a formal hearing is scheduled for toward the early fall of this year. We're also busy creating new inspection forms, standardizing our staff. We work with FDA to have our staff, certain individuals in our staff standardized so then they can train the inspectors under them. We have 3 people standardized currently in TDA, and hopefully I'll get a call from Dan Reddit saying our 4th passed standardization this week. I know I'll be relieved, and I know that inspector will be too. It's a daunting process that they go through for that. So, and obviously training. We're training not only our staff, it's a different way of looking at things for sure for them, but also we want to work with industry and help in training them. The big guys, we're really not worried about it. They've got the infrastructure to handle it. They're doing it in other states. They're okay, but it's the mom and pops that we're really trying to figure out how we're going to get out there, what we can do to make this transition a little bit smoother. And we also we are signed up to participate in the voluntary national retail standards. That's 9 standards, and I mentioned before of a retail specialist that's going to take ownership of that to really drive it forward to move our programs to the next level. Another big thing going on in our department is MIFRIPS, which is the Manufactured Foods Regulatory Program Standards, and that's Bill Thompson's baby or headache, whichever way you want to look at it on certain days. But it's a nationwide cooperative grant through FDA to enhance programs and bring the programs up to the equivalence of the federal standards. So TDA, we participated for 2 years, and we're excited that we just got confirmation that we got a full grant for this next coming year. And although it's a lot of work, it's really making us better. We're benefiting from some of the funding for equipment improvements, new laptops and printers for our field staff, iPads that we're rolling out in July. Our lab is benefiting from that, and some equipment that we'd be able to use in the office to conference calls and enhance those abilities. Also training. We've done a tremendous amount of training, I think, in at least the last 10 months that I've been here. We use ORIU quite a bit, which is a web-based online training through FDA, and we set, I think, a pretty aggressive time schedule for our inspectors. They've completed, except for some of our new hires, all the food code courses, and are on track to finish all their level 1 courses by September 1st. So we're proud of them. Once they are able to complete some of this training, it actually allows them to go to some on-site training for further study. We've had some individuals go to the FD 152 Food Processing and Technology course. We had 2 inspectors go to the FD 320 audit course, where we're actually able to audit ourselves. No offense to FDA, but instead of having them come. And a lot of our inspectors participated in Dr. Kreitzer and UT's Better Processing School. And outreach. I mentioned before that we're hiring for an outreach coordinator, once again, wanting to focus to have more customer service out for industry. This individual will be kind of the liaison to helping to navigate new businesses through our permitting system, which is not always easy to understand, even for someone that's permitting them, to get through it, what you can do, what you can't do, what we're going to look for, what your fees are, things of that nature. And so we're really excited to have that individual on board. Food Business Network. Sorry, I couldn't get it in another color than this blue, but this is the website that you can go to, and you can search by region, county, or business type to find other businesses in Tennessee. It'll give you the name, address, website, and contact information. So if you're producing something in Shelby County and you need a distributor, in a specific location here in Tennessee, you can put that information in, and it'll list all the distributors in that area, or all the produce suppliers in that area, things in that nature. So it's a great tool that we have to enhance manufacturing here in Tennessee. I don't want to steal any of marketing's thunder, but it just rolled out, I think in the last couple of weeks actually, a new Pick Tennessee mobile app. It's free. Download it. You can actually, from wherever you are, from your location, then it can find all the festivals, farmers markets, and things of that nature to help connect customers to locally grown products. So I think not only things that you can buy locally grown, but ag activities and things like that. So take a look at it. We're excited to have that. So in conclusion, our primary goal is food safety. I'm honored to actually work for this department. We have a lot of passionate individuals that I have the opportunity to work with, both here at TDA and our sister agencies and health department in USDA and FDA. We always want to remember, and we keep telling our inspectors, that we do work for the citizens of Tennessee, and we want to continue to raise the bar for ourselves to always enhance and put food safety first.